Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here, and today I'm back for episode number 21 of my Pittsburgh Pirates franchise series here on MLB 17 The Show. So I'm making one more trade for a catcher in the wake of Francisco Cervelli's season-ending Achilles injury. We're going to be picking up Tyler Stevenson from the Cincinnati Reds, a young catching prospect, 21 years old, but I liked his hitting stats. I thought he could come in and at least be better than our backup right away, which had been Brian Pena. Pena was DFA'd. Jed Lowry was also DFA'd, so getting a couple veterans off of the roster before the September 1st expansion call update. As we get some more guys in the 25-man so that they'll be postseason eligible, it's going to be Vernon Piliero, one of the minor league free agents we signed in the offseason, who's going to come up in Lowry's place. He's actually going to get a start in this upcoming game, I do believe, I'm pretty sure. And you see, getting into the month of September, still playing very good baseball, 93 and 50. Taking on Chicago 6 more times this season, now 5 more after that 14-7 loss in game number 1 of this 3-game set. We're a game and a half back. 2 more games in Pittsburgh, 3 more games in Chicago. All of them will be huge when it comes to deciding who will win this division. Josh Tomlin on the mound for Pittsburgh. Glad I finally got to show him in a video because he has been outstanding for us this year. Of course, he was signed in the offseason. Kind of thought he was going to be our 6th starter, sort of depth for our rotation / a good bullpen piece. And he pitched very well out of the bullpen early on, so much so that he actually earned a start once A.J. Schugel and Chad Kuhl started both performing pretty poorly in that 5th starter spot. Eventually, Tomlin just took over as the 5th starter, and he has not looked back. He has got one of the best ERAs in the National League, under 3. The peripherals haven't been that great, but he's still got pretty good peripherals. And he had good numbers last year too, so it's not too surprising. I think he had like a 3.10 ERA last year for Cleveland in this franchise, so he's kind of just picked up right where he left off. He went under the radar, but he's up to 80 overall now for us, and looking like he's holding down that 5th starter spot pretty well for us. So Marte strikes out there, taking on John Lester and the Chicago Cubs. Here is our lineup. You can see Piliero batting 6th at third base. We've got Tyler Stevenson in there batting 7th at catcher. Here is Scott Schebler up, hitting this one pretty well. The left field Polanco back on the run, reaches up and makes the catch. A nice running grab by our left fielder. And we'll take a look at the replay here. We're actually going to get not the StatCast, but the Showcast is what they call it in this game. And a pretty nice route run by Polanco to get to that one. You're going to see it's 99.5% efficiency, as that was not an easy catch, but that's, kind of a common sign we've seen a lot play out this year, is just how good our defense has been and how valuable that good defense has been. We've made a lot of good plays, a lot of run-saving plays, especially in the outfield with Polanco and Marte back out there tracking down fly balls. There's Piliero striking out on the breaking ball from Arrieta. Here is Jason Hayward taking Tomlin deep to right field. That ball back and gone. Granderson not even really making much of an effort. He knew that one was gone. Hayward goes deep for his 24th home run of the season. Kind of a surprising figure, I thought, for Hayward. He's certainly having a nice bounce back year for the Cubs in this franchise series as he takes Tomlin deep. And that's always been a problem for Tomlin. He's always had the good strikeout to walk ratios. He doesn't really get a ton of strikeouts, but he has great command, really some of the best command in baseball. Or at least best control, I would say. Command, I think he does tend to miss in the zone a lot, and that is kind of what leads to his high home run totals. And that's always been his biggest problem, I think, even more than the lack of strikeouts. But here he's actually going to get our first base hit of the game as he just gets that one by Russell out there at short. So a 2-out base knock for Tomlin. And then after Marte would actually get hit by a pitch, there are 2 guys on for Polanco. But Polanco takes that sinker right to the shortstop Russell, throw to first in time, and Arrieta is out of the jam. So on to the bottom half of the 4th, now 2 on for Tyler Stevenson. But he takes that slider on the outer half, and that is strike 3 looking. So through 4, it is still 1-0 Chicago. Scott Schebler up at the dish. 2 strikes on him. He goes down looking at that curveball. Nice pitch by Tomlin, freezing the Chicago center fielder. Now Tomlin up for his second AB of the game. He's got 3 balls here. Chance to get on for the second time, but he takes that curveball. Tomlin was not happy. That one clearly out of the zone right there, and that should have been ball 4, but instead it is strike 3. So here we go. Next inning, that is going to be a nice play by the catcher, Stevenson, who throws him out of first base onto the bottom half of the 6th. Now Granderson up. He strikes out on the curveball. So this one becoming a pitcher's duel once again. It's Crawford now with a man on. That's Eric Thames, who had singled earlier in the inning. Crawford lining this one towards center field. Schebler on the run. Dives, but he gets by him and goes all the way to the wall. Thames around third. He will score. Crawford on his way to third. He's got himself a stand-up triple, and this game is tied. So this has kind of been a problem with this Cubs team and this franchise, is they haven't really had a true center fielder out there. They had Chris Young the last time he played him. We've seen Scott Schebler out there a couple of times. And Schebler just makes a misplay right there. So now it's Josh Bell up next. He's pinch hitting for Vernon Piliero. He strikes out on the slider. So Arrieta's out of the inning, but he does surrender the lead right there, as it is a 1-1 game. Now Wilson Contreras up in the top half of the 7th. He goes down on the changeup. Tomlin still looking strong into his 7th inning of work. Here he is facing the second baseman today. I think his name was like Brian Rett or Brett Rett or something. I think he's a made-up guy. I don't know if he's actually on the Cubs in real life, but anyway, he grounds out. Top 8, Tomlin's day would be done after 7 strong innings of 1-run ball. Top 8, it's Felipe Rivero facing the pinch hitter Ben Zobrist, who strikes out on the changeup. Here he's going to walk Hayward, though, to put the man on, and that is going to bring up the next batter, Rivero. You can see not too pleased with himself. And Joe Madden's actually going to turn to a pinch runner, John Andrioli, for Hayward over there at first base. Next batter is Anthony Rizzo, full count. Rizzo hitting this one pretty well towards the gap in right center. Marte not going to get there. 2 hops up off the fence. There is Marte playing it off the wall. His throw will go to the cutoff man. Andrioli scores from first, and it's an RBI double to give the Cubs the lead from Anthony Rizzo. Now after the next batter would single, it's Kyle Schwarber up. He strikes out on the changeup. So 2 down in the inning. Now after a walk, the bases are loaded for Addison Russell facing Will Harris here. 2 outs. This ball hit into right field for a base hit. That gets down and goes all the way to the wall. Misplayed by Granderson off the wall. 2-run score. Here comes another one. The relay home is in time, and they got him. So Contreras has gunned out at the plate. 2-run score on the play, and it's 4-1 Chicago now. On to the bottom half we go. Eric Thames up with 2 outs facing Pedro Strop. And Thames gets a hold of one to deep right field. If it's fair, it's very gone. But this one hooks plenty foul off the Pittsburgh sign out there and right. That ball was crushed. Next pitch. Thames goes the other way this time. Deep left field. That is going to get down 1 hop up over the wall. It did land in fair territory before going to foul territory. So a ground rule double for Thames. And then the Cubs are going to turn to their closer, Craig Kimbrell here, with 2 down to face the Grandy man, Curtis Granderson, who goes to deep right field. This ball's back at the track, at the wall, and gone. A 2-run home run for Curtis Granderson, and just like that, it's a 1-run ball game. 4-3 now is the score. Kimbrell surrendering the 2-run shot and making it a 1-run game once again. Take a look at the pitch. As you can see, the Pirates starting to just sort of jump on these fastballs from Cubs pitching. It was Thames getting a couple fastballs from Strop, I should say, and now it is Granderson. So we skip ahead to the 9th, still a 4-3 game. Hector Rondon on to close the game. Kimbrell actually only faced the 1 batter, which was curious. But either way, Forsythe leading things off. He is going to chase that slider out of the zone. First out of the inning. 2 batters later, now it's Diego Vina up. He is our last chance. 2-1 is the count. He's going to hit this one back up the middle for a base hit, so we've got the tying run aboard. But with the pitcher spot due up next, we're going to have to turn to our bench. We've been using our bench an awful lot tonight. This time it's Nick Hundley getting the call. Full count, runner on the move. Hundley hits one to left center field. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Vina around third. This game will be tied. Nick Hundley, a game-tying pinch hit RBI double, and we are knotted up at 4. The man brought over from the Giants last month, getting the majority of the starts at catcher, but Stevenson got the start tonight. Hundley taking full advantage of his rep off the bench right there, turning on that inside fastball. That's exactly where I was looking for the pitch, and luckily I got it there. Turns on it to the gap, and it is a tie game now. Pirates have knotted it up at 4. Marte up next, blooping one towards right field, but that is going to be caught by the new right fielder into the game. I think that's Andrioli, who had replaced Hayward earlier. On to extra innings we go. It's Chris Bryant up with the man on. He strikes out on the slider. Now top 11. 2 strikes on Wilson Contreras with the bases empty. It's Feliz getting the strikeout for the first out of the inning. But now later in the inning, Feliz still on the mound facing, I think this is Tommy La Stella, I want to say. He is going to break his bat right there and kind of get a dinky little hit. So a 1-out base runner. Now it's Darwin Barney up next. Two batters later now with 2 outs. It's Polanco tracking this one down to left, but it's over his glove. That gets down. Here comes the runner from first. La Stella is going to score, and the Cubs retake the lead thanks to Darwin Barney's RBI base hit. RBI double, I should say, as that is not the man who you would think would kill you at the dish, but he does it right there. So the Cubs turn to Fernando Rodriguez on for the bottom half of the 11th. The man with the funky windup that's very hard to hit, or very hard to pick up the ball at least. And it's Vina now, grounding this one to third. Bryant's throw to first in time, and the Cubs take home the 5-4 victory. So a very, very entertaining game, but the Cubs take it home as they move 2.5 games ahead of Pittsburgh now in the standings. Things not looking good for Pittsburgh in terms of trying to win the division, and I've already discussed how important that is with the way the wild card rules work now. So that is going to do it. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thanks for watching. I'm going to have either one more regular. It depends on how the rest of the season plays out. If the division is still close, I'll probably play one of the final games of the season. If not, then we might just skip ahead to the wildcard game or to the NLDS. But either way, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.